There you go. Wow is all I can absolutely say. Why, Stephen Curtin, did we not have a program like that when we were young? Oh, my Lord, that is amazing.
Oh, mate, I remember in the old Catholic College Bendigo days going to the school regional sport rep team, and we'd have like a PE teacher who was rejected from the Aussie rules team that didn't know offside or anything, would be in charge of coaching. It was not good times, but those days are over, it seems like, at least at Western Heights.
And they do indeed. And welcoming to the show, he's been on the show before in a different capacity. He's the newly appointed head of soccer at Western Heights College, Joey Didulica. Joey, you must be like a kid in a candy store when you look at just that. And that's got nothing to do with the soccer program. Exciting, uber exciting times at Western Heights College, mate. You must be absolutely thrilled with what's happening there at Vines Road.
Absolutely, Tonchi. Absolutely, Steve. I think it's a dream come true for the kids of Geelong. I think they've got an environment there where they can thrive. They can do their sports during the day, during school time, and also their academic work. So very, very excited, and I'm glad it's down in Geelong.
Now, speaking of talented kids, before we do go on, Ivan Kovacev, thank you very much. Ivan actually has popped in the comments section, Edie A. Bertie. Now, that's the name of the young lass. I think she's only like 13 years of age, and she's already playing senior football. That is great. Now, another connection here, Ivan Kovacev's brother, Eddie Kovacev, used to teach up at Chanel College around about the same time that the football coach there at Western Heights used to coach. Macca, for a lot of you old Chanel College students will know him, Brendan McCartney. Now, he's going to be your colleague next year, Joey. But tell us, mate, how did this all come about? How did this specialist soccer program develop?
Well, it's been really successful with the basketball program and the AFL program, as well as the netball program. They're really seeing the kids there thrive in their academics as well as in the sports. So they thought, why not introduce soccer? Because a lot of them would have an unbelievably, we'll say, the talented group here in Geelong, as seen with the country championships. So they thought, why not bring it to Geelong? And instead of kids having to go up to Melbourne to train in, Maribyrnong schools and all over the shop. So, yeah, we're really thrilled to have it.
And what's the likely format of the program going to be? Or is it underway? Are we kicking off next year, or is it sort of underway in the second half of this year?
No, we'll start in 2023, but we've been hard at work now developing the program. Essentially, it's going to be run alongside the AFL program, which is kids will have 8 hours a week concentrating on their soccer, and that will also involve some sports conditioning as well. They've got a leading gym there at the place. You work with great professionals there as physios and sports trainers as well. And we'll be training at the leisure centre as well on the synthetic grass. So great facilities.
And does it extend to getting the group together and playing some sort of competitive, semi-competitive matches against other schools and that sort of thing as well, to get them that real experience in the match intensity?
Yeah, absolutely. We've already hooked up with Maribyrnong College, John Faulkner, these sports schools out there, and they're really keen to have us on board as well. We've been speaking about their programs as well, and our program in Geelong will be the best in Victoria in terms of the hours that we'll dedicate to having the kids out there. I mean, Maribyrnong High, they've pretty much got Melbourne City, Melbourne Victory players throughout their academies. They have 300-400 kids trialling out for 11 spots essentially, and they're training twice during the day. Whereas we've got 8 hours dedicated to soccer during the week. So I'm sure these kids will fly. It's really a great environment for them.
Now, Joey, we do joke that we wish we had something like this when we were young. We don't actually joke. We're fair income. We're dead set fair income.
Serious.
But look, over the next 12 months, it really seems like it's going to be very exciting for talented young kids in Geelong. There is talk of Western United, and we actually do know that because we had Anthony Frost on one of our sister programs, Football Out West, recently saying the Western United Academy launching next year. We've got this academy launching next year as well. So I guess this is a really exciting time for talented youngsters here. But are you kind of like hoping or maybe expecting that not just kids from Geelong will be looking to enrol at Western Heights, but we may be getting kids from the wider region really, looking into enrolling at Western Heights next year because of the soccer program?
Absolutely. We've had already a lot of inquiries from Melbourne schools or Melbourne kids in their primary schools. They've heard of the program starting. Because as I said, Tonchi, with Fiona, the principal at the school, done a lot of research into not only the academics but also sports, and seen that soccer players now need 12 to 15 hours per week of training. And essentially we're giving them, in our MPL program, 4.5 hours. So we're probably a third of the way of European players. So we really need to bridge that gap. I just see now you put up the philosophy we'll be working on. And as this change suggests, we in Australia, we really work in the execution paradigm, whereas we should be working the perception decision-making. And this
so take us through that. Take us through that, and for the lay person, I guess the parent or whatever that might be listening in, the vision of the program based on this success chain.
Look, basically, having played in Europe and at Ajax Amsterdam, I've really looked into their academy a lot and spoken to a lot of sports directors around Europe. And the conclusion I came up with, seeing the academies here when I arrived, was we essentially have been working on an execution paradigm, which is basic distribution, running with the ball, all of this sort of stuff, right? So the kids execute well, but they really struggle in seeing the game properly, making decisions properly. So a lot of coaches don't know how to coach it. So, I've done a lot of research and spoken to also coaches, so I'm really familiar with how to coach kids properly. And when you only get 4.5 hours in the MPL program, it only gives you 4.5 hours to coach and perception, decision make, and a bit of execution. Whereas this way, I'll be able to get the kids early, work on every single aspect of this chain, and make sure that they're ready for the games. And it will take a few years, but I'm sure the kids will be flying when they come through it.
Good to see that diagram there. It paints a good picture, and it sort of whets the appetite for how exciting it is to see young players following that sort of pathway curriculum skill
Steve,
set.
I just want to know, will there be provision for mature age students?
Yeah.
Can we enroll?
Only under 40s, Tonchi.
Rules me out.
I'm not able to sneak in there. And how does that come together with, I guess, the kids and the importance of their classroom learning and the theory, both within the football and the theory within the usual education as well?
Like what happens, Steve, as well, they've got an accelerated, across the board, they've got an accelerated learning program as well. So if your kid is doing well academically, then he can enter this accelerated program. What it does is, Steve, it just gets rid of, I call it fluff in schools. If you look at the triangle of our kids, if you just look at their timetable, you'll see a lot of drama, music, language. For me, it's a lot of fluff. So what they do is pretty much get rid of a language, give you 1 hour of music instead of 3, 1 hour of drama instead of 3, and give you, your sport or your passion. So kids are loving coming to school. They're loving learning. Their marks are going up. It's just they're excited coming to school each day because they're doing what they love, and they're also excelling academically. So it's a no-brainer, and it really aligns with the European schools. We're falling behind Europe big time, not only in soccer, but also academically. So Australia needs to pull their finger out and start doing what these principals doing now, and setting new rules pretty much, and saying, we can do this and we will do it, because at the end of the day, it's the kids who are going to profit from all of this.
Yeah, and on that as well, as if you're over in the Netherlands, would you find that most schools are doing something like this, if not all the schools?
Absolutely. If you just look at the players in Europe, they're getting 12 to 15 hours of soccer. That's during the day and after school. And that's why we can't bridge the gap footballing wise. And if you do look at Westfields in Sydney, this is a sports school there, which is producing the most soccer players in Australia, like Aaron Moy, Harry Kuehl came from there, Alex Bross, Jason Chully now, Connor Chapman now, even the Matty Ryan was there. So most of these kids who are doing well in Australia are coming from Westfields. And at Westfields, they have 3 sessions during the week, during school hours, and then they go to their clubs and pretty much have 4 sessions. So they're getting, I wouldn't say as much as Europe in terms of time with coaches, but they're getting more than any other Australians. And it's seen. It's proofs in the pudding.
Yeah, Josip Zilic, the ex-North Geelong Warriors coach, president, who is now also my colleague on one of our sister podcasts, the Oz Crows Soccer Show, on a Wednesday. He's moved up to the Gold Coast with his boy, and he was telling me up in Queensland, the school system is so advanced, they actually have their schools competition on the weekend. The NPL in Queensland, the NPL juniors have actually moved their games to a midweek fixturing so they don't clash with the schools. That's how well advanced and well structured the schools competition up there is. And you just mentioned New South Wales. So we really in Victoria are starting to lag behind. But I guess this is a start. How can kids and parents who are interested in their kids enrolling in this program, how can they get involved with this intake of next year? Is it open just to year 7s, or how is it going to? What's it going to be open to?
No, it's open to year 7s, year 7 to 11. There's an open day tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the school. So if you are interested, come along, have a look, inquire, and then we take it from there. There are going to be trials because it is going to be an elite program. I won't be taking more than 20 kids per age group or per year level. So I really want to keep it elite and really want to keep it to those kids who are good enough. And it does apply for girls and boys in the schools. So come along.
That's a wrong date there, by the way. It is, say, Monday, 2nd of May. I think that may have been a previous ID session. Is that right? So tomorrow,
it was. That was for year 7s.
Yeah. So tomorrow between 4 and 5 p.m. Is that right? At Western Heights. I'll bring that.
No, tomorrow at 6 o'clock there will be an open day. 6
p.m. And that's at Western Heights College.
Correct. So the principal will be talking, and then we'll go into going over the program for next year, and then there will be trials. I think we've not decided yet, but I think next month. For the other.
Now, there's also we've also got a scoop. We've actually got quite a scoop here from the Geelong Advertiser in tomorrow's. We're like the front page. You know, they have it on the Sky News or whatever. Front page. Tomorrow's front page. An exclusive, thanks to the sports department and Josh Barnes and Alex Oates. We've actually got the front page of tomorrow's junior sports supplement. There on the front page of the Lift Out supplement, helping next gen hit new heights. Didulica to lead college soccer program. So it's a great little article there about the program that is at Western Heights College. So, mate, it's going to cause some major waves, that's for sure. But we're looking to find out more about this. Steve, you're going to say something before I rudely interrupted you. Apologies for that.
That's all right. I'll put it on my invoice. What's planned for yourself, Joey, with your coaching? When we saw you recently, you said you're enjoying your time doing some work at Victory at the moment with their NPL and their youth program. Are you going to continue with that for the foreseeable future, or will you focus entirely on this Western Heights program?
No, this will be my little project during the day with the Western Heights. I'm still committed to coaching. We'll be back at North soon and coaching there. I love coaching, love helping the kids, and I'm still enjoying working as a specialist coach with Melbourne Victory and helping the juniors there. So really enjoying that.
Now, is that a scoop there? Is that, we've got Colin Payton, who was one of the North Geelong coaches. He's there saying super coach. So he'll be very excited to hear that you may be coming back to North Geelong. Is that a signed, sealed, and delivered deal, or is that something to be watch this space type of thing?
No, I was always going to come back. I just need a little break, a little bit of time to reflect and come back sharp and strong and ready for the end of the season.
Well, we're looking forward to finding out more about the Western Heights College program. As you said, tomorrow is an open day at the college at 6 o'clock on Vines Road there. Geelong is going to be all the more richer for a program like this. And Western Heights College having someone like yourself heading the soccer program, I do not know that what sort of a treasure they've got when they've appointed you. So I'm sure they'll find that out in due course. But Thank you
thanks,
very much for
Johnny.
joining
Good
us
time, mate.
tonight. We appreciate it.